The world of combat sports has witnessed numerous greats, but few have left an impact as powerful and culturally resonant as Khabib Nurmagomedov. Now, with the release of the documentary chronicling his life, career, and enduring legacy, fans and critics alike are hailing it as a global masterpiece. The documentary not only revisits Khabib's legendary undefeated career, but also reveals the human being behind the fighter, his struggles, personal codes, devotion to family, and unwavering faith. As glowing reviews pour in from across the world, it becomes clear that this is more than a sports biography. It is a profound exploration of discipline, humility, and legacy. A global release that captured hearts. From its premiere, the documentary began making waves internationally, reaching audiences far beyond the MMA community. Translators rushed to dub it into multiple languages as demand surged in regions such as the Middle East, Russia, Southeast Asia, Europe, and North America. Despite cultural differences, one universal reaction emerged: admiration for Khabib's story and principles. Documentaries on athletes are not uncommon. Yet this one stands apart because it transcends the boundaries of sports storytelling. It serves as an inspirational journey rooted in values, respect, perseverance, honor, and faith. Viewers have responded with an emotional resonance often reserved for epic tales of legendary warriors. A life of discipline from Dagestan. The film opens with Khabib's humble beginnings in the mountains of Dagestan, portraying the rugged terrain and modest lifestyle that shaped his resilience. As a child trained by his father, Abdulmanap Nurmagomedov, in the harsh countryside, Khabib learned to fight not merely to win but to represent something far greater. The narrative does not glorify violence but rather highlights the discipline behind the art. Scenes of young Khabib wrestling in barns, training in mud, and practicing combat under extreme conditions give audiences a raw glimpse into the life of a future champion. This grounding in traditional values forms the core theme of the documentary, the belief that greatness is earned through sacrifices long before the world begins to notice. The father, the mentor, the general. One of the most emotionally powerful threads throughout the documentary is Khabib's relationship with his father. Abdulmanap is not just featured as a coach, but as a guiding compass. Their bond, filled with strict expectations and silent respect, reflects the deep family honor embedded in Dagestani culture. Every championship belt, every victory, Khabib dedicated to his father's teachings. The documentary does not shy away from tragedy. The loss of Abdulmanap due to illness is portrayed with quiet dignity, capturing Khabib's grief and his vow to fulfill his father's final wish, to retire undefeated. This emotional depth has resonated globally, with countless viewers admitting that these scenes left them in tears. It quietly raises an essential question: what is true success without the presence of those who guided you? The undefeated champion, 29-0. The film retraces Khabib's professional journey, his rise through the UFC lightweight division, his grit inside the octagon, and iconic battles with some of the world's best fighters. Yet, it intentionally avoids sensationalizing conflict. Instead, it focuses on Khabib's composure, his silent stare before fights, his refusal to engage in trash talk, and his focus on competition over entertainment. Critical matches are reflected upon, from the grueling fight against Rafael dos Anjos to the emotionally charged rivalry with Conor McGregor. However, the documentary emphasizes not the chaos, but Khabib's reaction to it. Even at the peak of controversy, he held steady to his beliefs. He never strayed from who he was, a warrior with moral boundaries. This ethical framing has been applauded globally, particularly by parents and educators who view Khabib as a role model for young athletes. The Conor clash, beyond rivalry. The documentary handles the infamous McGregor rivalry with nuance. Rather than indulging in drama, it focuses on Khabib's internal conflict between controlling rage and honoring his principles. It highlights how Khabib was forced to defend not just his title, but his values, heritage, and family dignity. Analysts in the film give rare insight into how Khabib compartmentalized public insults and maintained respect for the sport. While the world saw aggression, the film reveals a deeper truth. Khabib was fighting for something intangible: respect. Retirement that shook the world. Perhaps the most profound moment comes when Khabib announces his retirement in the octagon. The documentary offers previously unseen footage of his emotional conversations with corner team members and his promise to his mother. The global audience witnessed an undefeated champion walk away at the peak of his power, not for fame or money, but out of loyalty to his family. This act, bold and uncommon in modern sports, has earned praise from legendary athletes across various fields. The documentary positions Khabib's retirement as one of the purest decisions in sports history, choosing peace over power. Legacy beyond the cage. But the film does not end with retirement. It transitions to Khabib's new role as a mentor and coach. We see him training rising fighters like Islam Makhachev, guiding them with the same strictness his father showed him. Khabib, now wearing the face of leadership, walks the path of legacy building rather than competition. Audiences are particularly drawn to these scenes as they reveal a man who turned away from glory to lift others. Coaches around the world have praised his approach, teaching humility before confidence, loyalty before victory. Impact on culture and religion. Numerous viewers, even those unfamiliar with MMA, have praised the documentary for showcasing Khabib's spiritual strength. It depicts his commitment to faith, his refusal to celebrate with alcohol, his modest lifestyle, and his avoidance of stardom. The film clarifies that for Khabib, being the best was never about being the loudest. Cultural critics are calling this documentary a historic moment for representation. It has humanized a region often depicted through conflict, presenting Dagestan through the lens of honor, family, and discipline. Critical acclaim across continents. Reviewers from global media outlets have hailed the film as groundbreaking. In India, it trended among youth who admired Khabib's discipline. In Brazil, fighters called it the standard of respect in fighting. In the Middle East, families watched it together, viewing it almost as a moral lesson rather than a sports story. Social media forums exploded with quotes like, "This is more than a documentary. It is a lesson in character. Khabib taught us how to win, but even more, how to walk away. He fought with honor, not ego." The human behind the champion. What makes the documentary universally powerful is how it shows Khabib outside the spotlight. Moments of him praying, laughing with childhood friends, visiting his father's grave, and playing with children in Dagestan show a man deeply connected to his roots. No mansions, no celebrity parties, no extravagant cars. Just simplicity. One powerful quote from Khabib in the film has already become iconic worldwide. Legacy is not what you leave in trophies, it is what you leave in hearts. A blueprint for future generations. Sports schools, leadership programs, and motivational seminars have begun using excerpts from the documentary to inspire young minds. It teaches that true strength lies not in physical dominance, but in discipline, gratitude, and principle. Coaches emphasize how Khabib's journey offers an alternative to the modern narrative of fame-hungry athletes. Here stands a man who refused commercial deals that compromised his beliefs, a man who rejected celebrity life for inner peace. Conclusion: global respect, eternal influence. The global acclaim surrounding Khabib's legacy documentary is not just about a fighter's dominance, it is about a man's journey through faith, sacrifice, and honor. As audiences worldwide continue to resonate with his story, one truth becomes clear. Khabib Nurmagomedov did not merely retire undefeated, he entered the realm of legacy. The documentary stands as a time capsule of character in an age of spectacle. It teaches that legends are not made by victories alone, but by the values they uphold when no one is watching. The world has honored many champions, but Khabib, through this documentary, has earned something far greater: universal respect.